right, how we doing today? Okay, this is the Remnant One, and for this food and health series, I'm just going to go on and push on with the this series with today's segment, high blood pressure. Now, I've done this segment before, but I had some issues with the sound in the editing software, so I had to scrap the whole series and do it all over again. So I'm going to be pushing through because I have other stuff that I want to talk about here. And I'm not on YouTube all day, so but anyway, okay, I'm going to go on and get on to start to maybe to talk about the COVID cases as of October 8th, 2020. We're in the second wave, and it's predicted that the cases are going to go back up, particularly the deaths. The deaths from the effects of COVID, which ravages throughout the body. I think it mainly attacks your respiratory system. Okay, yes, it is a glorified cold, but this is very, very different. Okay, it's almost like having pneumonia, pretty much. Okay, but except that it can ravage the heart, the lungs, different parts of your body. They say that it could it could provoke like hair loss and other effects. Okay, problems in your nerves. So it's very, very different. So just moving on. Okay, let's see here the cases. I have to find my cursor here, okay? So nationwide, we have 7.58 million cases and then 212,000 deaths. So we're getting 52,000 cases every day as we speak, and about 1,000 cases every day. Okay, worldwide it's 36.2 million with cases with a little over 1 million deaths. Okay, and I'm saying this for a reason because I don't think we would even have half of this, especially in America, okay? Which leads the way that if we didn't have all these pre-existing conditions, all right, high blood pressure being one of them, and if we would have probably practiced more of eating correctly from the foods appointed from the Most High, okay, and we cut out all these different fast food lifestyles, okay, and things like a lot of foods with impurities. Okay, again, we wouldn't even have nearly half these issues. I know everybody's busy, okay, but there's other alternatives. Okay, and if we were to practice that, we wouldn't have all the issues with high blood pressure. So we're going to get into high blood pressure here right now. Okay, so this is a little. Just a few stats from the CDC.com site, okay, where they talk about men. Okay, so men, we're going to have a higher rate of blood pressure than women. Okay, that's really not a big issue in most women. However, in the African American women race, okay, in that particular group, you're going to have probably a higher chance, or higher percentage. But they say a greater percent, 47% have high blood pressure than women, which is 43%. I believe that's a little bit less in women, but with men, okay, that's a very, very high amount, okay? And we work hard. I know, guys, you're stressed over taking care of your family, especially now with the COVID. Many people have lost their jobs. We have 60 million people out of work. All right, but I would think that most you guys, you have to find a way to eat better and probably to be able to take care of your bodies. As my mother said, your body's a temple. That does say that in the scripture. High blood pressure is more common around non-Hispanic black adults. That's 54%. Then in non-Hispanic white adults, which is 46%. Non-Hispanic Asian adults, 39%, or Hispanic adults, like 36%. Okay. So we're going to be people that look like me, that's the African American so-called race, is going to lead the way in the high blood pressure. Okay. A few other stats from CDC.com. So a normal blood pressure would be 120 over 80. Okay, systolic and dystolic. Okay, but the elevated would be 100. About 130 milligrams, okay, over 880 milligrams. All right, so that means that your blood your heart is trying too hard to pump out the blood, okay, and if your systolic blood is high, then it's working too hard to suck in the blood, okay, because there's too many impurities in the blood, particularly like sodium. Okay, so stage 1 hypertension is 130 to 139, and stage 2 is 140. Is 130 to 139 over 80 to 89, and then 140 over 90. So that's fairly high. Okay. So a couple of other stats. Having hypertension put you at risk of heart disease and stroke. Okay, that's the greatest chance other than diabetes. Okay, because your heart's going to get tired and eventually it's going to wear out. Okay, so they say nearly 500,000 deaths in the United States included hypertension as a primary or contributing case. That's a lot of cases, and heart disease is the leading cause of death. Nearly half adults in the United States have hypertension, defined as systolic blood pressure, okay, or dystolic blood pressure, okay, and are taking medication, okay, nearly half, including myself, okay, but I take a very small pill. Only 1 in 4 adults with hypertension have their condition under control. All right. This is interesting. About half adults have high blood pressure of 140 over 90 millimeters HD or higher. So that's very high, okay, or that's like medium. Okay. So high blood pressure was a primary or contributing case for death for more than 494,000, about 495,000 cases. Okay. Costs. It costs the U.S. about $31 billion each year. Okay, so a little bit about by race, okay, or gender. Again, that still 43% of high blood pressure in women. You guys, like women, you have a little bit of work yourself there, okay. Here's a map here of states they think that has the highest blood pressure rates. Okay, a lot of these states here in the South, just a couple in the West. So that is because of all that good food. Okay, pork, shellfish, particularly down in this region here, the Gulf region where my cursor is, and a lot of that pork and shrimp, they have a lot of cholesterol in it, okay, which will cause your blood pressure to go up, depending on what is cooked in salt and all them different spices and all that, okay, barbecue sauce, and it even makes the food more fatty, okay, and more impure. So this is definitely something to look at. Just to finish this segment off, high blood pressure can be reduced with, I recommend fasting, number one, drinking a lot of clean water, okay, staying away from the sodas, particularly like even diet drinks and all that, okay. Coffee does have makes your blood pressure go up or whatever. I like coffee, okay, but I try to keep it a fairly low serving, okay. But those big old like large and extra large cups or whatever, okay, you need to stay away from that coffee. Plus, it's bad on your teeth, okay, to have massive amounts of coffee. Okay, I know that we have to stay alert, stay awake, Okay, but you need to really, really watch your coffee intake. Okay, um, your sugar. You need to watch your salt intake, particularly salt. Okay, like where I live in the desert, so it's customary to probably increase your salt intake because of the heat and so forth. It takes a lot of your salt out of your body, but most places in the U.S. Uh, doesn't really require that, but you need to watch the amount of sodium in these foods and pay attention, please, to these little serving suggestions and all that. You need to cut back on the porks and the different foods that they claim that are crustaceans. Okay, try to cut out with meat altogether and eat a lot of plant-based foods. Between that and fasting, you lose weight, you'll feel better, and then your blood pressure will go down. All right. If you are obese, and you could check and you could do that by checking your body height to weight content. Okay, and you have over a certain amount of body fat, and that you could do that by measuring your neck and your waist and so forth. Okay, and figuring out the formula based off that. Then you should consider losing weight. If you could lose 15 pounds, then that'll take your blood pressure down to probably about at least 15%, just by losing probably 15 to 20 pounds. Okay, so that's something to probably look at. Again, cutting back on your sodium intake, cutting back on a lot of these crustaceans, or cutting them out all together. Okay, or even meat, probably no more than 3 to 5 servings a day. Fruit, lots of fruit and vegetables. Okay, that are packed with fiber. Nuts. Even if you like nuts, you have to be careful about your serving sizes with nuts, because they have a lot of sodium in the nuts. I like nuts myself, okay, because they can replace meat, but I don't eat as much meat if I eat nuts. But still, those are very, very healthy foods, and they can be alternatives to that. And once you get used to fasting, you're not as hungry as you think you are, but you just need a lot of water, certain minerals in the foods, and fiber, okay, to live a long, healthy life from the foods that are appointed by the Most High. So I'm going to go on and end this segment here. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and we're going to move on to the next segment here of cholesterol. All right. High blood pressure, diabetes, and cholesterol are one of the highest concerns or whatever for more serious effects like cancer, heart disease. All right. Hope you enjoyed this video.